I would have thought actually was better, a more natural choice for them with Astana, to be frank. Lars Bohm, well, he's a bit of a brute, particularly on days such as this. It could be that he turns the clock back a little bit. Veteran places for him these days. Quick step with Yvan Lampaert, sparing us a smile. Blushes spared by the larger gentleman there. And this is Philippe Gilbert, who's still staying really down with the kids, gelling his hair up. So hair up, down with the kids. Nicky Terpstra, why not? From a breakaway, or at least a late push. Probably a very good bet, still carrying his national accent upon his sleeves, and or carrying the red jersey. Who else but Peter Sagan doesn't like to talk to, well, anybody. It seems. Jesper Stuyven cruising in for a bruising perhaps. He's many people's pick for the day, actually. But it's hard to look past likes of Greg Van Avermaet, who leads the World Tour points at the moment. In fact, he turned up for duty. So what about Greg today? Could be World Tour points leader, but he's had a bit of a dry patch of late. But nonetheless, he looks like a bad boy, but he's actually a nice boy, Brian.
Yes, he is. He's a nice lad. I've spoken to him a few times. But Stefan Kung has got the green jersey, and Greg Van Avermaet will want to try and help him keep a hold of that as well.
As far as Orica are concerned, Kerkelaer is a natural choice on a day such as this. I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes. And Piet Allegard in that black Primus jersey in elevated company here. Peter Sagan getting rid of... Gosh, he nearly shot his finger off there. That was probably as bad a use of a starter pistol as I think I've ever seen. There is gas that comes out, by the way, despite the fact that it's bang. So it would have stung if he'd had his finger on the nail. Nothing more serious than that. Anyway, we've got brighter weather today. Speak, our breakaway has still got 3 minutes, but this is the course we're dealing with. Big old loop until it gets to the Tom Dumoulin bike park. But just look at the climbs along the way. We have plenty of them, and despite the fact we're joining the day with already 100 kilometres in, I can tell you there's still plenty of climbs to be had. In fact, we have, just sort of double checking, 10 to deal with, a little bit less than that right now. The Veglangs Stammen, looking forward to that. In fact, that's coming up next on our run. No, it's not. It's the Schatzberg, which you can draw your own conclusion as to how they named it. But anyway, here's your... nice. Here's your break. Big Hepburn, just coming through. Just to put his nose in the wind for Orica Scott. That's a good excuse, Nick, then for Jens Kerkelaer further back. Bagdonis is also in here. Katusha is represented by Jenther Biermans, Tony Martin's erstwhile teammate. Notice Piet Allegard up the road yet again. He's loving getting up on the podium and standing next to the lovely Felice Blankets. Yes, Armand Reinders really would love to get the chance, but it's not happened for him so far. We've got Bagadonuts, so never short of a nibble or two for AG2 on Le Mondial. We have Kevin Van Melsen from Wanty Group Gobert, I think you saw a few moments ago. And Peter Vakoch from Quickstep Floors. So Quickstep have put a man in the break, although I expect, Brian, that this break is not going to be allowed to succeed because there's a lot at stake here today. Who's the best placed of our breakaway?
Best placed is Peter Vakoch of Quickstep Floors, the 25-year-old Czech rider. Finished recently 34th in the Tour of Poland, so comes here with form getting better and better. And we all seen yesterday that Lampard, Arago, Kitto obviously not in form, so they're looking for different options. No real surprise that Katusha in the breakaway, they've decided, because they've lost a couple of their kind of sprinters, that they've decided to go on the attack.
Well, going down heavy, and that one does not look nice. Just trying to see who's involved here.
Ollie Nason.
Yeah, I beg your pardon, Ollie Nason, the Belgian champion. They're struggling to free him at the moment. That'll be spoke damage at the very least, one would have imagined, but 82 on Le Mondial. are in a bit of a panic at the moment because the pace is high and this is not good. Roy Sutherland just sorting himself out, finally gets himself free. I can't believe there's no bike damage there for Nason, and he's going to struggle. Medical cars here, and indeed have lit up the beacon, which is essentially a call. So I imagine that we have an injury here. Let's hope that that's not a serious one. They're busy trying to deal with it, but yeah, nasty tumble at pace, straight road, just boxing for position, Brian.
Yeah, they were starting to move up, and unfortunately, touch of wheels and over they went in a ditch. The Rompot rider seems to be worst off. Nason involved there, he had a teammate there to try and help him, but you know, a bit of chaos. Nerves in the front of the peloton. We're getting near to 60 kilometres to go. Cannondale on the left-hand side with Ryan Mullen, Quinziato with BMC. But yeah, it was just an unfortunate incident. This is what happens in this part of the world, because it's all pushing and shoving and trying to get some road space, keeping near the front. We've all heard it over the last few days. It's important to stay near the front. My team can't be near the front all day. When you race in Belgium and Holland, that's what you hear all the time. It's important to stay near the front.
That's precisely what's happening. You're looking at the hero jaw, the desperate Dan jaw almost of Tom Dumoulin, just embedded here. You see Borrow also doing some work. Mullen's been ubiquitous throughout this race. And even on sprint days, but right now he's keeping the pace as high as he needs to as well. The Irish champion doing a super job for Cannondale Drapac. This is for Sepp van Mark. Thankfully, Sepp got away with it without being involved in that one, because he does linger sometimes off the nose. In fact, he's embedded about position 10 as we speak. In fact, that's him further up. It's at 49 there with 61.8 to go. We'll have a climb for you in a short while. They come thick and fast, and here's that moment. A little bit of cross-country. Can't really quite see why that was required, but anyway, they all drifted. And in fact, it was reflected onto the other side of the road as well. A bit of street furniture in the centre, designed to slow traffic down. There it is, the pennant man, and they were basically just too fat to cope, Brian. The funneled road there, they couldn't squeeze into, so some were squozen out onto the rough stuff. That's the result.
He's lucky with that pole there.
Yep.
He didn't hit that pole. Rory Sutherland went really into the ditch there. Okay, a soft landing, he seems to be okay, but Nason getting tangled up on a bike. This is what happens when you're coming down the road and then you get a central reservation. Quite common in this part of the world, and everyone kind of moves over, and when you move over, touch of wheels, people try to avoid it, and unfortunately this has happened to Nason from AG2R, but I'm pretty sure he'll get back to the front. But as we see, we come onto some smaller roads, and this is quite consistent in this part of the world. I've ridden at the classic Amstel Gold myself, and this is a kind of mini Amstel Gold, certainly in the territory, 167 kilometres, and it's constantly changing up and down hills and small roads, and you have to be really attentive.
You do. We'll take a break. We'll be back for the first of our climbs that go to air today after this.
What is this place?
The Modern Software Factory, a hub of digital transformation. Is this where we come to compete? This is what you build to compete, where insight drives experience, where automation delivers better apps faster, where agile isn't just a buzzword, it's a way of life.
What about security?
Strong, yet frictionless. All working together at scale. It's about moving to new from old.
Oh, that's not right. I'll put mine back on.
1, 2, 3.
For many years, TDK supports and inspires future generations through athletics.
Inspiring. I think we were brought here to inspire the young kids, but in turn, the young kids inspired us too.
Don't forget to watch the World Athletics Championships. They are here in London. I'll be there. Make sure you are.
TDK.
stars, tomorrow's leaders.
Challenges to bring you back the best sensations. We went off the beaten tracks, so you would always be one with the road. We took a few nasty hits to come back with the smoothest driving experience. Everything we learned from our challenges, you benefit from every day. Peugeot SUV, imported from the dust.
Welcome back. Big squeeze going on, as you can see. It's coming through Orsbeek. In fact, our breakaway is maintaining 2 minutes and 57. Getting back in is Ollie Nason. Nice one, Nason. He's back in. Not too much of fluster, although the pace up front has still been maintained. They're not hanging around. And there's an awful lot of street furniture here in the Netherlands, it seems. In fact, today we're in Holland. Tomorrow we will be crossing over Belgium for the remainder of this race. But the Amstel Gold is nodded to today. And we've got some great racing coming up for you. Not least because fairly shortly we will be on the Schatzberg. The first of the climbs that you're going to see today, however, it's deep into the day, which features many of the climbs. You haven't missed too much. The Kreuzberg, the Coburg are a thing of the past, I'm afraid. They've already been dealt with today, along with the Wassersley and the Windrak. However, just before we came to her, we had the Bergstrasse, which we'll be seeing again because we're on this loop of 38.8 kilometres. So you're also going to get a preview of the finish line today. And the finish line, Brian, has been altered due to the possibility of inclement weather. And they thought, frankly, it would have just been a bit crazy to do the looping course that is the Tom Dumoulin bike park.
Yeah, the rider's still heading towards the finish.
They changed the finish.
Yes, you've told everybody. Yeah.
Well, I haven't told them how, but I'll tell you now. Brian was busy concentrating. They're going to go round the edge of it today, as opposed to taking a whole sequence of little turns on the infield, essentially. So we're more of a rectangle that we're dealing with today, Brian, which is, I think, a blessing.
Yeah, we still finish in the Tom Dumoulin bike park. It's a kind of straight in, round the outside and to the finishing line. Taken out to the Techno next year, as you said, Carlton. That'll come in 56.9 kilometres. They've already seen it twice already, so they've already had a good look at it. I think the riders more so are looking at the next climbs coming up, about positioning, about how they've been able to look after their GC contender. This stage is going to be quite different to the previous stages for the sprinters. But still a strong enough breakaway. This breakaway with McDonough's at the front, the 31-year-old Lithuanian in the orange. You've got Reinders for a change in the breakaway. He's been in pretty much the action from the start, as well as Piet Allegaert of Sport Vlaanderen in the black and green jersey of the Primus Checkpoint Sprints competition leader. Also, you've got the best placed at the back in the blue. That's Vakoc of Quick Step Floors at 38 seconds. Beermans of Katusha in the red. The 21-year-old Neo-Pro from Belgium, Michael Hepburn, just coming through with the yellow helmet on for Orica. And on the right-hand side, you've got the man from Monte, Kevin Van Melsen. So 7 riders in the breakaway today.
And indeed, we are on the Schatzberg. It's a little bit damp, and in fact, there's not much room just watch how they come down some of the little descents here, because they can pose a danger. We've seen accidents aplenty on the Amstel Gold Race. It really sort of wavers about. It's the area of the Netherlands which sort of proves the point, the exception that proves the rule, really. It is a flat land, but certainly not round here. It rolls a little bit, not unlike Derbyshire. I'm always saying that. I know it annoys some people. But yeah, it looks familiar to me anyway, just the roads around Hathersage. Go and have a look, you'll see what I mean. So nonetheless, they're on this little climb. It's 800 metres, 5%. They'll be doing it a little bit later on, and that's when it's likely to be very, very feistily fought for, because next time by, when they're at this point in another 38 kilometres or so, there will be the Golden Kilo. It comes very late today, and in fact all of the intermediate, Primus, etc. are exactly that. In fact, the first of our Primus will be coming in 10 kilometres time, incidentally. So they're just getting to the top of this climb. So having dealt with it our breakaway, it'll be interesting to see how much fun it causes amongst the pack when they finally come through as well. The wind's starting to pick up. You can hear it on the effects mic here as well. And indeed, there's some billowing clouds which suggest we may get some rain. I think that's why they've struck out the technical nature of our finish today, just to keep it nice and safe for everybody, because had they used the infield, when you see it, when they cross the start-finish line for the second time of asking, they'll be taking the bell, but you'll get some aerial shots as well. You'll see why they decided not to use the infield. It's good for training, but certainly not for racing. Not when you've got a highly motivated bunch such as we are looking at right now. Andrew Greipel's just getting himself up to the fore. He always goes strongly at the Amstel Golds and indeed other classics as well. Yesterday he sacrificed himself, but said of himself at the end of the day, Brian, he's lost his instinct. Not only sprinting, but his cycling instinct. He's having a real downer on himself at the moment. I hope he snaps out of it.
Yeah, he is. I don't think... Maybe it's the wrong word, the translation from German to English. I don't believe that you totally lose your instinct. I think it's more confidence than anything else. This is the first Tour de France he's gone into in some years now without a win. And he's one of these riders that keeps on focusing all the way to the end to try and win. And I just think he needs a general reset. He needs to go out and start enjoying himself, because it's a lot of pressure for these sprints, because they have to sit in the wheels all day. Albeit Greipel went out in the breakaway yesterday, but they have to sit in the wheels all day and then sprint to the finish with the other fast men, and it doesn't always work. So it's a long day for everybody. At least some of the other kind of domestic riders can get an opportunity to get in a breakaway and change things around a little bit and get out the peloton. But unfortunately for many of these sprinters, they have to stay in the peloton and get looked after and then deliver in a high pressure in the last couple of hundred metres. So it's no surprise that a sprinter, I think every sprinter goes through that. I think Mark Cavendish has been through it as well, and obviously he's gonna reset himself, his goals, his motivation. That's all it is. It's confidence and motivation, and it just needs Greipel to kind of reset these things. Take a step back to take two forward.
For Vinci, I'm afraid, just being tagged off here on the first of today's climbs. Tony Martin coming to the fore. I actually thought Tony Martin might be a sort of a crazy outsider today. He does like to go long, and he can cope with these kind of inclines, and being short of the Amstel Gold, it's taken the frighteners off some of the fast men. You may well see some of the quicker guys. I'm thinking someone like Edward Turns, who won yesterday. Don't discount him for today, Brian, because there's a 6k recovery point after the last climb. It may well be you get some of the faster guys very much involved.
I don't think this is. It's obviously a little bit harder than the stages that we've had before. But Stein de Walde gets pushed off the road there because Sepp Van Mark said, "Come over to the other side," and they all moved over, and of course put everybody into the ditch. But the situation with this stage today, it's a bit more lumpier. There's more riders come into play a little bit. Maybe the big sprinters, as we've seen yesterday, like Kitto and Demar, may have a harder time and get dropped. Well, they get dropped in a fairly flattish stage yesterday. But it will bring into play some other punchier sprinters, and I think we've seen that yesterday. But I don't think this is an overly difficult stage. I say that when we look at Amstel Gold is a very difficult race, but this is only 167 kilometres. The Amstel Gold is nearer 260 kilometres, but then again, Amstel Gold is a one-day race, and this is the 5th stage of a multiple stage race. So it has its problems for many of the riders that have already ridden 4 days, hard racing. So we'll have to wait and see, but it's up and down. It's small roads. It's been attentive, and we can see from the front of the peloton with 50 kilometres to go, there is a bit of movement. There is a bit of kind of pushing and shoving to stay near the front.
Would you describe it as a shilly-shally?
Maybe would I?
Updown, I'm afraid, is down, but he'll be back up in a minute. 51.9 kilometres is where we peak out with the Lanaken-Lanaken, and that's right now. It's only 150 metres, but here we go. Just in case you think I'm nuts, Paul Bennett, who lives in Derbyshire, said, yep, it's just like Derbyshire. Tim Bonneville-Gin says, yeah, he's at uni at Sheffield, by the way, good lad. He said, yeah, Hathersage is on some of my runs, and it's exactly like that. So there you are, I've got backup. Thanks, lads. 51.5, and these little downhill runs, dirty as well, as you can see. And watch the side of the road. If you're thinking of trying to go up round the outside, the real fractures here, and you get caught out. They're likely to have had a bit of frost damage, and you can pick yourself up a puncture very easily. This is a proper climb, actually.